Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to The Boys. This time we're on Season 1, Episode 5, titled Good for the Soul. Last time we had the female of the species, and we were introduced to the female of the species known as superheroes, it would seem, because she very definitely had super strength. She had super strength as a result of being juiced up by human traffickers on Compound V, on the super steroid to the super steroid serum that superheroes use. So she was juiced up on that, and she gouged eyes and crushed skulls and shish kebabbed the woman who got her there in the first place, and started digging for treasure in a dude's. She was so brutal that the last guy left in that room decided he would rather die at his own hand through a bullet through the head than be killed by her. She was that brutal that a guy actually chose suicide over being butchered by her. So yeah, it tells you pretty much all you need to know. But we met her and they caught her in the end. Frenchie seemed to connect to her throughout the episode a bit, so he tried to talk her down from escaping again. But then she pounced on him, and then Billy released the gas canister, and then she took them both out. So we have them. We had Hughie connecting with Annie, not Starlight specifically, but Annie for a little bit. He went out on a date to the bowling alley with her, and yeah, they got on. They got on well. She was because of a history of boyfriends feeling emasculated by her powers and her kind of dominance and stuff. She kind of made it a thing to not really show up Hughie on the date and like just pretending to be really really bad at bowling and other stuff like that. So then once he told her to just let loose and go free, she literally just got all the pins in one and all that kind of stuff. So I think it was an interesting thing to address. It was an interesting thing to address. So we had that, and then we had Homelander and Maeve were doing their own thing. They were in charge of actually rescuing a plane of people, which went south so fast after he took out the one last terrorist in the captain's bay, the cockpit, I believe it's called. But then he lasered the controls, and the plane went haywire, and then Homelander, Homelander's just homicidal. Homelander is literally not even borderline. He's just homicidal. He couldn't have cared less. Like, he was more concerned with, if he saved anyone, if he saved even one person. Like, Maeve wanted to save a woman and her daughter at least, but then he knew that doing that would mean that they are witnesses to Homelander's actions, and that they could actually tell the world that he let the rest of the rest of them die and everything. So he cared more about there being witnesses to his impulsiveness than actually making sure that there were survivors. And then in the end he spun it out to be some kind of story like, oh, if the military had called us out here, then we actually would have been able to stop it before things went haywire and stuff. So yeah, Homelander, he's just a whole. I think he's the other species. He's just a whole other species on his own. And Maeve is just filled with guilt. Maeve is filled with guilt about what happened. So she's her and Starlight are increasingly becoming the more obviously kind of last good members of this team. So yeah, it's interesting to see where that kind of progresses from and like where they go from there. But we had that. We had Deep wanting to do something with a little more substance. He wanted to do something more important and something that actually mattered. So he tried to rescue dolphins from ocean land, dolphins that were being abused and underfed and everything. So he rescued one. He rescued one and then slammed on the brakes so hard it flew out the windshield and then was run over almost immediately by a passing lorry. So the one he picked out from ocean land, he couldn't even save. So yeah, I guess it's unless he's given staged and scripted work, he just cannot save anyone to save his own life. He couldn't save anyone if his life depended on it. So yeah, the way the story's going so far, it seems like all these heroes have all these different kind of insecurities and all these different kind of issues that kind of interconnect in some ways. That are coming out. So it's actually showing us, just how much their corruption actually threatens their way of life and their fame and everything. So and it's exactly what Billy's trying to actually point out. It's him trying to uncover just how bad they are and just how just how much darkness they've got behind their capes and their cowls and everything. So Yeah, it's all good stuff. It's all fun stuff. So we had all of that, and a cool little Spice Girls analogy from Billy trying to keep the team together, to trying to keep Mother's Milk and Frenchie together. He brought out a little bit of a Spice Girls analogy, so that was cool. So now we have the boys. So yeah, that is pretty much all I've got from the last one. I think Hughie bugged her as well. Hughie planted a bug on Starlight's phone, so now any conversation she has in and out of the Seven, they'll know about it. So yeah, I don't trust that ending well. I do not trust that. I think that's going to come out. That truth is going to come out, and then Hughie and Starlight are just going to. So I do not look forward to watching that at all. But it is what it is. It is what it is. He has PTSD, like borderline PTSD. Loud noises scare him, and he had like a flashback of Robin. He saw Robin's ghost in the corner of the room, so that then reminded him of why he's doing this. Billy recruited him because he lost someone to a superhero, and that's kind of Billy's soft spot. So that's his mission. Like avenging Robin, and also uncovering the superheroes for who they really are. So yeah, whatever happens, I'm hoping that Starlight and Maeve don't really face too much backlash from this, because again, they clearly are the two good superheroes, like the only good superheroes left. Like everyone else is actually doing something that goes against everything superheroism actually stands for. So yeah, I don't know where they're going to go with it, but we shall see. But that is all I have from the last episode, so episode 5, and Good for the Soul. Let's go. Oh, and as a little side note, the full-length reaction, if you guys want to watch along to the full unedited reaction to this episode, will be over on Patreon. But yeah, the highlights reel. Let's go.
Really screwed up, kiddo.
Well, he actually has to move the cape out of the way to sit down.
I'm proud of you. I love you.
I would not trust this guy with a handshake, let alone a hug. Nuh-uh. He'd hold you and he'd just crush your spine.
Basting every 20 minutes to keep it from drying out is very important.
Damn, he's cooking on a proper meal.
It's crisp, but not too crunchy.
Oh, they've got her in chains too. They've got her in chains. Are those real? Is she an angel superhero? Is that her power? She can fly and she has angel wings and stuff?
You should just believe because I say so, because you have faith.
That's what Jesus said, really?
Those are my peeps, y'all. That's what Jesus said.
Oh yeah, that sounds like Jesus, yeah. All about his peeps.
But I am going to ask you one question.
And just go up to Ezekiel. Hey, man, what's up with you smuggling blue dope into Chinatown basements?
Yeah, pretty much. Once you show him this.
Oh, the him at the thingy, the club from the first
Club
episode.
you took me to?
You
Yeah.
remembered our first night together. I'm touched.
Hey guys, this is the first time I'm hearing about this plan.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Really?
You're all thinking.
Did you have
The girlfriend?
sex with him?
Oh, okay. Oh, right, yeah, religious people are
Well,
weird about sex before marriage, aren't they?
It's private, but
Oh no, this pastor is just, yeah, like, yeah, watch what you say, there are kids here.
I'm a virgin.
Let the bed be undefiled, for God will judge the sexually immoral.
Really? Has he really not got anything else to worry
We have
about?
time for...
Is he really that obsessed with bedroom
I'm
activity?
not really sure what you're saying, son.
I'm saying, if there is some geezer up there with a big white beard, he's a real heavyweight cunt.
I'm sorry, did you just call God a C word?
Yeah, he's got a hard-on for mass murder and giving kids cancer. And his big old answer to the existential clusterfuck that is humanity is to nail his own bleeding son to a plank. That is a cunt move. Come on, even you got to agree with me.
Hey, please.
We should lob a fucking nuke at him,
Sir.
get it over and done with. You know what I'm saying?
We're sorry, sir. We apologize. My man,
All right, good talk. Think about it. I'm here all day, all right?
you mind piping it down just a little bit?
Is he actually jealous of the baby? Of all the things, he's jealous of the baby?
My mom's getting old. She just wants a place to talk to her daughter.
Yeah, well, she's talking the dirt, isn't she?
What happened to
Something.
Becca?
It has been 8 years since she's been missing.
She's
The
been
cops never found
missing.
anything. You never found anything.
Hughie,
right? You're Starlight's friend.
Oh, Homelander.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay.
You know.
Oh, no.
Good to meet you, pal.
Meet you.
I baptize you in the name of the Father,
Oh,
the Son,
jeez.
and the Holy Spirit.
Oh. Okay.
Your sins have been purged.
This is regular water, right? This isn't like a drugged water.
On this blessed day.
And I baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, this is this. Oh, jeez, that face. That face in the water. Ugh. Okie dokie. Yeah. That was a much stricter baptism. That was a much stronger baptism. Oh, nope, the phone isn't gonna work.
You fucked me.
What?
Yeah, in a private soup club. Your dick was so perfect and long and stretchy. You played my butt like jazz. With poise and skill and willingness to improvise.
Oh, crippity crap. Oh, Christ.
And you're also gonna stop the fucking pray the gay away shit.
Yeah. Yeah, stop that shit.
Anyway, it's your choice.
Oh, he's... Oh. Oh, boy. Okay. Yeah, he's really doing that.
Call your jets, Gov. It's not a hate crime.
No, he's doing it because he loves her. And he's convinced she's still out there.
All right.
Where's Freckles? Freckles died 2 years ago.
Pete Freckles?
Look, Lena, you don't have to be like this.
Elena.
I'm out of your life. You never left mine.
They were together, I'm guessing. Yeah, they were together.
Oh, no, Maeve. This isn't... What? No, this is... You're obviously... No, I said stop it.
Definitely an ex. Definitely an ex. Well, that sucks. She had a love. She had a love in her life and she lost it all.
Oh, I just had to pop down to the shop. I was running a bit low on mind your own fucking business.
What about the girl?
Fucking leave her.
You can't leave. Well, she can handle herself, but you can't leave her
What they'll
alone.
do to her.
Yeah.
Violence ain't our concern, mate.
It's just how goddamn certain everyone
Yeah,
is.
god damn. Damn God himself. Damn him to hell.
$170 so that how does anybody know when the Bible was written life expectancy
Hughie's
was
so
30
proud.
years old? I mean, I'm not so sure you're supposed to take it literally. It also says that it's a sin to eat shrimp.
Thank you.
What,
There are
if
other
you're
sins in the
gay or
book.
If you're
Yeah.
Gandhi, you're going to hell. I mean, what's immoral is the guy who shoved his dick in my face.
Oh, yeah, the deep, yeah. 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 Yeah, you roast him. You roast his ass to fried shrimp.
Supposed to be this hero idol symbol, whatever, but
He's so proud.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Thank you.
Motherfucker's all nervous now, like, damn, she got me. Mm-hmm.
Jackpot.
Are they giving compound B to babies?
Oh, yeah. And lots of it.
They're giving compound V to a baby?
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Holy crap.
That's
Whoa.
a fucking baby soup.
That's a baby. Whose baby is that?
Chosen by God my ass.
They're giving
These cunts are made in a fucking lab.
superheroes are made in a lab. She is pure. She's really just made of angel light. She's just a cosmic superstar. Oh shit. Oh crap. Oh damn it. What's he gonna do? Oh, they. Oh! Oh, damn!
Hey!
Yeah, come on, laser eyes, there we go. Laser eyes, come on. Oh, jeez.
Holy fuck!
Holy fuck, indeed.
That was diabolical.
You sliced right through them.
Fucking beauty.
Whose baby is that? Why are they making baby superheroes?
Now you keep your nose clean, sunshine, or I'll come back and stomp you.
You're threatening a baby. Qu'est-ce que c'est? What? What?
Come here. You're my good boy.
By far one of the weirdest things this show has ever shown us. By far one of the weirdest things. Oh, damn. Oh, okay. Yeah, Black Noir. What's his powers then? Oh, the female. Oh, damn. Okay, Black Noir versus the female. Oh, okay. Oh. 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 We get her for 2 episodes?
Ain't no sunshine when she's
No, I refuse to believe that. Nuh-uh. Okay, that was good. Okay, that was good. That was good. That was good. That was very, very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so yeah, so that was very nicely done. That was very nicely done. So yeah, I wrote I wrote down a lot for this episode. I don't know if a lot actually happened in this episode, or if I just took down a lot. If I took down almost everything I saw, or if a lot genuinely happened. I think these kinds of shows, like, you know, they don't really hold back a lot in terms of content or duration. You know, sometimes they just hit the full hour mark and they just give away a lot of stuff. But yeah, so we started off the episode with A-Train killing Popclaw. A-Train killed Popclaw. So she didn't tell him. She told him who she told the the Compound V stuff to, but she did not tell him about the leverage they had over her. She did not tell him about the footage of the sex tape they had of her grinding her landlord to death. Like, yeah, she didn't tell him about any of that stuff. But he found out anyway. The I think it was like a teddy bear or something, like teddy bear, like some teddy bears and stuff have like those little cameras in them, like usually like a nanny cam, like in the first episode. Billy was playing around with in the store that Hughie worked at, so he had one of those, I think, and then he took out the USB, plugged into the TV, and he was reminiscing about their relationship over one of their sex tapes, and then it auto-played onto the next tape, which was her actually grinding her landlord to death, and then Hughie and Frenchie actually walking in to the room soon afterwards. So yeah, so he killed her. He killed her, a heroin overdose. He framed it as a heroin overdose. So yeah. So he went to Homelander. Though. He went to Homelander about the Compound V stuff, and about how their usual spot had been exposed and busted open and stuff like that, and how Popcorn had been the one to tell them. So he went to Homelander about that kind of stuff, and seeing him explaining it to Homelander, seeing him talking about it to Homelander, kind of got me thinking about what the hierarchy is like in the Seven. Like, you know, you got Homelander and Maeve at the top. Those two are interconnected, and they're like unarguably two of the most popular members. Then you got other people like A-Train and Black Noir and the Deep, who are, you know, they definitely seem like not just not just that they're lower than Homelander and Queen Maeve, but like, you know, like they're like almost as if they don't really come in, like almost as if this is literally more like a team than a family. Like they're not really a family even in the broadest of terms. Like they are literally, kind of, you know, they see each other when they see each other. They talk when they talk. They very rarely actually talk because they want to, and if they do cross over, it's because of a mission that Vought has set up for them. Like there's very clearly like some kind of like not just dysfunction, but a lot of distance between each of the members. So yeah, from that conversation between A-Train and Homelander alone, it was easy to see. So that was that. So he killed her, and then he promised to actually sort out the situation with the missing thingy, the missing. I think is she Jap? I don't know where she's from. I mean, it's Karen Fukuhara, so I assume they'd probably keep the character Japanese too. But the missing female, they identified it as a missing female. He promised to actually get on top of that ASAP too. So yeah. But we had the whole Jesus camp. I want to talk about that, the whole Jesus camp thing. So, according to Starlight, it wasn't exactly the way that she'd remembered it either. She used to go there as a child. Her mother used to take her to them as a child. But now, having grown up and become Starlight and becoming a member of the Seven, the Believe Expo isn't the same way. It's not what she remembered it as. You know, she was walking around, she was recognizing, she was like discovering all this new, weird, out of place seeming stuff, like stuff that she never grew up with, and it's all the same. It's all the same kind of textbook exclusionary religion kind of stuff, like marriage is between one man and one woman, and no engaging in premarital sex and all that kind of stuff. And even within the little prayer circle thing that they had, and she was being asked questions and stuff, like them asking, do you have a boyfriend, and did you have sex with him, or you're gonna wait till marriage, and all that kind of stuff, like that kind of stuff, and her realizing that this is like, for one thing, it's not just the fact that it's very, very new and very, very kind of out of place for her experience, for her usual experiences of what the Believe Expo is like, but it's also that the kind of message they're sending is undoubtedly very exclusionary, but also very, very controlling. It's very, very very, very agenda-y, like it's like the message they're clearly sending is do all of this stuff and you won't be sent to hell, you won't be sent down to hell. I mean, the one that surprised me was the Hinduism one. The one that surprised me was that like the girl saying like oh my friend's a Hindu and I don't know how to actually be a good friend and to let him practice Hinduism at the same time, like that kind of thing somewhat confuses me. Like, I think even me personally, I've never heard anyone like even the most conservative Christians or like conservative religious people. I've never really like Christians themselves. I've never really heard that argument that you have to follow Christianity or else you're damned to hell. Like I've never really heard them. I mean, besides from like maybe Islam, maybe I've never really heard them like trash talking other religions or or subtly labeling other religions as like less worthy or like hell worthy or something. That one was new to me. That one was weird and new to me. That one seemed like it was really, really pushing the boundaries of exclusionary. Like you have to follow Christianity or else you're going to be damned to hell. Like God won't accept anything else. So yeah, and Hinduism is the one with more gods. Like Christianity has just one God. That's it. Hinduism has like like Krishna and other gods. It's got a multitude of gods. The names aren't coming to my head right this minute. But they have a multitude of gods. They have like a whole kind of Pokemon card catalog of gods. Probably a really bad way to describe it, but still, they've got a multitude of gods. So yeah, multitude of gods, multitude of beliefs, multitude of different practices and everything. But yeah, got this one. And her kind of rightfully pointing out that like telling people that if you like Gandhi or if you're gay or if you have sex before marriage then you're going to hell, like that stuff is just obviously bad. Like yeah, I think especially nowadays religion is like it is becoming more and more of like a trickier kind of subject, like a more sensitive subject. Like you have people who actually practice it with peace and like solidarity with people who follow other religions and people who, you know, like who literally practice what they preach and actually, you know, encourage love thy neighbor and everything. And even you know, Starlight saying, you know, oh well, you know, the Bible says love thy neighbor, and then the pastor saying, you know, yeah, love thy neighbor, so you should love them enough to convert them to a completely different religion just because you say so. You know, so yeah, the pastor, he was really eyeing up close Starlight. You know, yeah, the kids are here. You know, you gotta, you know, tell them all the right things to do. But I think in this show, I think contextually it kind of adds up, because I think it was in like the first or second episode, like when they introduced Starlight, they actually did point out how a lot of conservative Christians actually do support the superheroes and what they do and stuff. And I think it's for that reason, like, you know, Vought, if Vought has proven anything, if Vought has shown us anything, it's that they are all about the money. Whatever gets them more voters and whatever gets them more support and money and everything, like, you know, the conservative Christians, if they like what they hear from Vought, they are more likely to support them and more likely to preach all of their gospels about Vought and the superheroes and the Seven and everything. So yeah, and literally even the speech that, you know, Homelander gave, and him, you know, flying up into the air and actually descending upon the crowd, he's literally like Jesus coming down, or like even God. Like, I mean, with his power levels, he's basically God. But yeah, I mean, he's the poster boy for Christianity. He's the poster boy. You know, he preaches all that they want and everything else. So yeah, but I will say I loved Billy. I loved Billy's speech. Like, it was, he was saying even what I was thinking. Like, you know, oh, like the pastor saying, you know, oh, if you're gay, or if you follow another religion, or if you know, have sex before marriage, then God is gonna hate you forever and He will send you straight to hell when you die. Like, wars, famine, poverty, you know, homelessness, like just all these different things, like murders, like all these different crimes, like, you know, all this stuff going on. But sure, you consensually loving another human being regardless of their gender, or following another religion, or, you know, enjoying sharing yourself with someone, like all these simple things. Yeah, this is what God hates. But all the other stuff, he's like, yeah, you know what, I'm cool with that. You guys go swap bullets with each other and swap grenades and all that kind of stuff. Like, even Billy pointing it out, like, you know, this guy, so he ignores all the other actual problems on the planet, but all this simplistic, non-problematic stuff, he supposedly raises an eyebrow at and just, you know, judges humanity silently. And his way to solve it all was to nail his son on a freaking cross. Like, him describing all the stuff and then calling God a cunt just for that. I'm not gonna lie, I love that. I kind of love that. It's like, you know, I think anyone else, or even me in that position, I would be super passive aggressive. But Billy, he couldn't care less. He is rightfully calling that vendor out and calling the religion out on some of the stuff the believers actually preach. He is rightfully calling them out on their stuff. So, you know, and even the vendor's reaction has been like, did you just call God the C word? Did you just call him that slur? Did you just call him that cuss word? But yeah, I think Billy, he could not be farther from religious. I don't think he could be farther from religious. All the stuff he does, just, you know, if what they say about God is true, then yeah, Billy's soul is just like Ghost Rider, just damned to hell. But yeah, that scene, I love that. Those two scenes, like, you know, like, those two scenes were very nicely in parallel with each other. Like, all these kids who have essentially kind of just been brainwashed into believing that the things they want to do, like, you know, freedom is a bad thing, basically. Freedom to do what makes you feel happy, or freedom to do what you want to do, you know, even if it's not hurting anyone else, it's wrong because it goes against the Bible. It goes against a book written thousands of years ago by people who, you know, I don't think there's any accurate way to describe the people who wrote the Bible, but I mean, it's been rewritten and translated and even mistranslated a bunch of times, so it was an interesting concept to explore. It was a very interesting concept to explore. And I think, you know, the existence of superheroes kind of, you know, like, superheroes are science fiction, but they're still science. It still sounds like there's still a science to it. And even as we saw in this episode, there is a literal science to how superheroes are made. Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's how it's always been, or if that's actually something that they've actually just delved into now. But yeah, we saw that, you know, like in the in the neonatal intensive care unit of the hospital, they were pumping a baby. We only saw one baby. But I think there were other babies in the room, but only this one baby seemed to have a vial of a bag of Compound V. But yeah, they were pumping a baby full of Compound V, and it had powers already. The super strength, not so much, but the laser eyes, they had like, like not like Homelander's one, but this one was like, like a pure white laser eye. So that was something. So they're pumping a baby full of Compound V, and then Billy, of course, came to the conclusion that that's how these cunts are made. That's how these superheroes are made. That they're made in a lab. But I don't think that much. I think this is a newer experiment. This has to be a newer experiment because I don't know. Something tells me because I think. So, like, up until now, I've been thinking, like, these superheroes are born. They have to be born. It has to be some kind of, genetic anomaly that just gives them these different abilities and stuff. And some make it into, like, the A tier, the God tier, like the 7 or, like, Vault level, but others, like Popclaw, aren't really as well known. They just kind of live life with their powers and stuff like that. So, yeah, up until now, I just kind of rolled with it. These heroes are born with their powers. Like, even Starlight, she grew up with her powers, and she trained, and she was taken to different super events. And I was wondering, like, if that is the case, then how would it actually develop then? Like, because I think, would it be the same way as the baby being filled with Compound V? Like would Homelander have been, shooting laser eyes from his eyes as a baby? Like, or would he have done his own, like, kind of C-section or something? I don't know. That sounds really weird, but I don't know. Like, would they have actually had their powers as babies, or is that like exclusive to the ones being pumped full of Compound V? Is that the case? I don't know. Because then, well, maybe it comes in stages. So you develop one set of powers, and another set, like, Homelander, he gets the laser eyes first, then he starts flying, then he can actually lift a car as like a 5-year-old. He can lift up a car or a lorry or something. And then Queen Maeve has her own thing going on, her own little Amazon thing. And then Starlight, she has her own thing. So yeah, I think we haven't really heard or seen any kind of youth stuff from the existing superheroes from the 7. We haven't really heard of what they were like in their youth. I think Annie probably trained. She was taken to a lot of super events as a kid. She was taking her mother to go to a lot of super events. Superhero soup just sounds like you literally take it to like a soup kitchen or something. To a lot of superhero events, so she was very easily familiarized and introduced to that environment fairly quickly. So there was that, and then so this baby thing. So I think this might be tied to the military. This might be tied into the military if they create more superheroes. If they literally create more superheroes designed for the military, they won't have to risk or worry about losing the ones they already have to the military. If they literally design super soldiers, literal super soldiers, and that actually increase the money they get from the military, the response they get. They literally design soldiers, super soldiers, battle hardened for war. Then yeah, I mean, it's a horrible thought. Don't get me wrong, it's a horrible thought. But I think that might be how it connects. Because I can't think of any other reason why they would want to specifically create superheroes. If I mean, yeah, and again, I mean, this whole theory is going off the fact is going off of the assumption that this is the first that they're doing. It's like now that they have the technology to do it, now they have the Compound V, they have the specialized units and everything. Now they have the opportunity. They can actually create baby superheroes, but before that, it was just superheroes being born and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to get I'd love to get like a superhero backstory to like Queen Maeve or like Homelander or something. Like this is seeing how they're actually born, into these roles, into these powers and stuff. So I don't know if that kind of monologue is coming up, if that kind of little speech is coming up soon, but it would be cool to see either way. It would be cool to see. And speaking of Queen Maeve, she has an ex-girlfriend. So she had a love in her life that she left behind. I think I think she left her. I think it had been years since she'd seen Elena. But yeah, that's really cute. She had a girlfriend. That's really cute. But things, I think I don't know. I mean, she said she left, but I don't know if they actually left things on hard notes or if on harsh terms, or if it was the fact that she'd been gone for so long, and Elena even saying like, oh, I see you every time I walk through Times Square. I see all those posters and those clips, and I see you on the news and all that kind of stuff. So she never actually sees her girlfriend anymore. She just sees Queen Maeve, the same way everyone else sees her. So yeah, but Queen Maeve, I think she visited Elena after a night of heavy drinking, and she was broken and traumatized over what had happened. She wanted little to. Given what had already happened, she wanted little to know part of it. But I think deep down she also does wish that she had the chance to go back and do things better and stuff, like namely stopping Homelander. That would have been the key to actually making sure nothing bad happened. But yeah, I don't know. It was a tough situation for her. It was a tough situation. Even Homelander's speech in the beginning did fuck all to fix it for her. So she decided to go back to her ex-girlfriend. And things didn't really go well there. Elena wasn't really too happy to see her, given how long it had been since they last saw each other, and even her mentioning the cat didn't really do much. Freckles, he died 2 years before she even even actually showed up. So R.I.P. to Freckles, R.I.P. to the kitty cat. But yeah, I think that was cool. I think I do hope we actually get some kind of reconciliation between her and Elena. I think she. I think it was more just like, I don't know if we might see a future between them. I think it was more just a heads up that this is what Maeve's history is. Like, she had a girlfriend, she had love of her life, and then I think maybe it was being a superhero that actually took her away from her. Like, she had to work constantly, so she eventually walked out, or maybe Elena broke it off or something, or she just maybe given what she's done behind the scenes kind of made her feel like she was putting Elena's life in danger, and she did not want to be that person in front of, or even out of the sight of Elena. So she wanted to keep her away from that stuff as far as possible, and that meant actually breaking up with her. So yeah, I don't know, but either way, things didn't really end well for them, and things haven't really continued well for them either. So yeah, but yeah, I think that was definitely more just a heads up that this is what Maeve's past is like and how it's impacted her future and stuff. So yeah, but I do hope we see more of her. I do hope we see more of Elena and Maeve. But it's cool to know. It's cool to know that she's actually been that open in the past before. Like, she actually was able to find love. She was actually able to find love, because I think the only other person we know is Translucent. He has a son. He had a son when we found out in the last episode, but that was from like an early divorce. So there's that. But yeah, I think it's cool. It's cool. So yeah, I'm hoping we actually see more of them, in some sense in the future, and hopefully if they can fix things up, then great. But other than that, I think mostly it's just a heads up. So it was great. It was great to see. We met Rachel. Rachel was referenced in a flashback in the last episode. Becca mentioned Rachel taking Billy mentioned taking Rachel instead of him to a concert, and now in this one we find out that she is his sister-in-law. She's his sister-in-law. He was married to her sister Becca, and Becca has been missing for 8 years. Becca went missing 8 years ago. So yeah, January 2012, that CCTV footage he has of her is likely the last thing he has. That's the last he ever saw of her in any fashion. He probably has a message. Probably has a memory of actually having, talked to her beforehand, or maybe that's just the sex he dreamt about. But yeah, other than that, any other digital footage is just the CCTV footage he has of her walking through the park, looking all right and stuff, and then after that, nothing at all. So 8 years she's been missing. He never found anything. The police never found anything. So yeah, I think like when a person goes missing, there is like a kind of minimum amount of time, that they can actually hold like an investigation and hold a search party for it before nothing really comes up, or maybe some evidence comes up, but it's just like a cold lead or something, and they just have to declare the person as dead. Like they have to go from missing to dead. So that happened, and then 8 years later now, Like her mother's dying too. Their mother's dying, so Rachel insisted that she wanted something to remember her daughter by while she was still alive, instead of dying with some sense of false hope or dying with no official kind of close on it. So they didn't bury anything. They didn't bury anything because there was nothing to bury because they don't have anything. And I think deep down Rachel might not want to believe she's dead either, but she still has to come up with something. She still has to come up with some sense of closure. So they planted a headstone. They planted a headstone, which Billy strongly disagreed with. Billy strongly disagreed with the headstone and didn't like it one bit, to the point where he actually just smashed it to pieces with a sledgehammer. So it's not going to sit well with Rachel. That's not going to sit well with Rachel. But yeah, so she's dead. I mean, no, so she's missing. So I wonder if that actually is something to do with the suit. If like a superhero kidnapped her, or that's the reason she went missing. She was taken, or something else. Maybe, I don't know. I think Homelander might be a bit of a stretch if Homelander has something to do with it. I think I don't know if it's just that he's that good with staying undercover or staying off the radar, or if he genuinely, or if the superheroes don't really recognize. Because I think back in the episode with the racetrack where they trained race, and back when Billy was the only one watching, everyone else was turned around staring at the race, but Billy was turned around staring straight at Homelander. The look Homelander had on his face, at first it seemed like suspicion, oh, he knows this guy, or he's heard about him, or he knows him in some sense. But then the longer it went on, it was just confusion, why is this guy looking at me while everyone else is looking at the race? It seemed like confusion more than anything else. So that kind of goes to show that they genuinely don't know who he is, and he just seems like another guy. But they haven't yet connected the fact that he's the one who buried Translucent's body and left it for them to find, and he's Billy Butcher. They haven't tied that name to the case. So yeah, but I wonder if that's what started all of this off. He maybe has an idea, or he knows that a superhero was involved in Becca going missing, and so that kind of launched that kind of kickstarted his kind of soft spot for people who have been hurt in some way by the soups, people who have lost friends or family to the superheroes. So I don't know. I feel like that might be the way they go with this. He knows in some way, he has some kind of evidence or some kind of lead that a superhero had something to do with Becca going missing, and that's why he's not giving up, because he's gonna if he finds out she's dead, then he avenges her. But either way, he gets her back, and he exposes the Seven for what they really are. So yeah. I think it would kind of explain the prejudice he has too. He believes / knows the rest of most of the rest of the Seven is dirty as hell, so he just assumes that Starlight is going to go down that path too. He probably knows that she hasn't become bad just yet, but he probably has an idea that, or a feeling that hanging around that crowd will get you to do some bad stuff soon enough. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough. So that is the whole Becca storyline. But yeah, I mean, I want to talk about Anthony Starr. Anthony Starr, the actor playing Homelander. He's beyond amazing. He is beyond amazing. His eyes and his stance as a whole, when he first met Hughie, that whole kind of demeanor he had, he had dominance just oozing off of him. He was in control of that situation, and it's I think the powers definitely do a thing. He has super strength. He's immune to a lot of regular attacks and even bullets and stuff. So next to nothing you try will work on him. And he even has super hearing. He could hear Hughie's blood pressure just skyrocketing through. He's like, your blood pressure is 150 over 60. I'm like, you okay there, pal? And even the baptism he gave him, he gave Billy was much stronger than the other ones. He literally, he even changed his stance. The other ones, he held them from the front and then dipped them, then raised them up again. But Hughie, he was standing on his side. He had his hand around his neck, just clamped around it, just saying the words a lot slower. And then he just dunked him like a fucking cookie in milk. Just dunked him under the water, held him there for a good few seconds. Even that camera shot under the water with the waves bouncing over him, and just seeing Anthony's smiling evil face over the water, that kind of stuff is great. And it goes to show Anthony Starr himself, he knows how to pull that stuff off. Like, his eyes, his smile, when he transitions to and from different appearances and different mindsets. He just knows how to pull it off. He just knows how to pull it off. He's a terrific casting for Homelander, and I think not having read the comics too, like, my knowledge of what these characters are like comes exclusively from this kind of stuff. Although I have been told that a lot of stuff is still kind of toned down, and a lot of stuff, how it goes down in the comics, is like 10 times worse. So yeah, I can just imagine what kind of stuff they've like. I can only imagine what kind of actions and arcs they've picked out for Homelander for the show, and like what they've had Anthony Starr do and say as Homelander, and what they've actually like made him think about doing all this stuff. But he's great. He is fantastic. He's just such a phenomenal actor for this role. Just giving off that kind of dark, edgy Superman vibe, like not even edgy, but like literally like a dark Superman, like a Superman who still wears the traditional bright colors, still has that golden flowing hair, still has that kind of poster boy kind of look to him, that kind of Boy Scout look to him, but at the same time, deep, behind those blue eyes, he still has that little, like a brain made of darkness behind the eyes. He has a very, very dark brain. He's willing to kill whoever and whatever and do whatever to get what he wants, to do what's best for Vought and for Stillwell. And even still, that ending, I don't know how to describe that. I don't know how to describe that ending. That ending was just weird. That was just weird. Like, I thought it would be a thing like a few episodes back, like, she was leaking from her bra, she was leaking from her breast, after having milked herself for a while, so she was leaking from that. But this was nothing like that. She, her kind of her presentation and her voice and everything changed from like an angry to an almost flirtatious kind of energy, and then she went and slowly sat on the sofa. And then she unbuttoned her blouse and everything, and she even I thought she was gonna milk herself in front of him again. I thought she was gonna feed him from her breast, but no, it was much, much worse. He sucked on her fingers. Why? Why would he suck on her fingers? Why would she let him or make him suck her fingers? Like, I don't know. I mean, again, there's been that whole energy of him being jealous of the baby and him being somewhat kind of infatuated with her, like him standing in front of his picture, but because he has X-ray vision, he sees right through it to her office, and he watches her the entire time, and she's aware of this. She's aware of this completely. So yeah, it's just so weird. The show is so freaking weird, and it's just sometimes it's weird in a funny way. Other times it just freaks you out. Other times it's literally just creepy. So this infatuation he has with her, I would take it. I take it to mean that this means that she knows about it. She knows how he actually feels about her and stuff like that. And she's maybe just exploiting it. She's exploiting that kind of affection. But I don't know. I'm hoping the next episode isn't going to open with him banging her on her office table and then doing God knows what else. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping this is as weird as it can get. But knowing this show, you can never tell. You can never truly tell. So yeah, that was that. But yeah, so we had the final fight scene: Black Noir versus the female. So he's like a vigilante. He's like a martial artist basically. He has like throwing knives and different combat skills. So he is basically the Batman. He is basically the Batman of this team. And he killed her. He got some good shots in. It was so dark I couldn't tell who was actually doing something, because I think in the last episode we saw that she mainly uses her fist. Like, she literally uses her fingers and her nails to dig into your eyes and your skull, and she literally digs in using that. But then he's wearing like a potentially armored suit that she can't really cut through. So I think I thought she got some good nicks and jabs in here and there, but then he had knives that he was throwing and holding and slicing and dicing, and then in the last few seconds he actually got like a good gash up her stomach and left her bleeding out on the floor. So I thought that was the end of it. I genuinely thought the way this show was going, that was the end of it. Like, that was the last we get of the female. That's the last we get of her. That's the last we see of her. So yeah, but no, she's a superhero. So she can heal. She can heal herself up from anything. She can heal herself up from even the deadliest of gashes up her chest and up her stomach. So she healed herself up from that. So I think yeah, having a superhero on their team would definitely be an asset. And I think especially this episode of seeing as, you know, she actually saved Frenchie's life. She saved Frenchie from Black Noir and fought him to hold him off. I think, you know, like Frenchie can definitely vouch for her, and actually, you know, even convince Billy that, you know, having a superhero on their team to help fight the Seven, to help fight the other superheroes, will actually, you know, be a worthy asset. But how good she actually is, I think we'll have to wait and see. Because I don't know if that means it's a case that she's invincible or immortal or something. Like, if she, like, because that is a clean cut that would kill anyone else, and it seemed like for a few minutes she actually had died there. She actually was bleeding out profusely, and then she actually stopped breathing and she died. And then as Frenchie covered her up, she gasped back to life again. So I wonder if it is a case of her actually being immortal in some way, or maybe to the extent that, like, you know, like maybe similar to Wolverine. Like she like, you know, like, you can kill her, but it will be very hard. Like, you have to destroy every cell in her body to completely get rid of, like, even from one cell she can grow back. I mean, she seems very animalistic, and she has healing powers now, so I'd say she probably is the Wolverine of this team, the X-23 even, perhaps. But yeah, I'm glad that's not the last we see of her. I think I was actually genuinely about to get annoyed, like, you know, wow, you give her to us for like 2 episodes and then you kill her off. You give her to us for 2 episodes and then you kill her off. No, I will not accept that. But no, I didn't have to. We actually got her for more than just 2 episodes. We got her for more than this. So yeah, I mean, interested to see how we progress with her being part of the team, and interested to see it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've taken from this episode. All I've got from the episode. It was a fun one. Loving how this stuff is going so far, and I think I'm interested now that he confessed that his own girlfriend died, and that, you know, he was trying to get away from all that shit. I'm curious to see how Annie and Hughie's relationship might progress from here, and just to see how everything else actually goes forward, how we move forward with here, from the baby thing too, the super babies. I'm intrigued to see where we go from there. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got. So that was The Boys, Season 1, Episode 5, titled Good for the Soul. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next time on The Boys. Once again, the uncut reaction, the full-length reaction for this episode will be over on Patreon, so you can go check that out over there. And yeah, that is it. So, I will see you guys next time.